Hello there, VC. George here back doing a vinyl update video. Actually, there are going to be some CDs and cassettes as well. And this is my first video doing this type of thing. So I went to a record fair today, got a few, well, you know, classic albums, but more like classic artists that I've been, missing in my collection, or I just, had them, had to sell them, and now I'm getting another copy. So, but yeah, and since I never did official VC introduction video, but just to kind of tell you, I've been collecting records since late 2011, early 2012, so about 10 years. And basically, I was building up just, my dad's and my mom's collection. And then, you know, there was a little bit of a crisis where some records had to be sold, some had to be saved. And it sucks when you have to, you'd rather buy, I don't know, some album that you like the cover of. I do that for instance when I see an album and I like the cover, I love to pick it up, but now you have to collect again your Beatles, your Zeppelins, and your whatever you're into, the you know those classics. But anyway, starting off, I first off I'm going to show the one CD and three cassettes. And this CD was Discogs finds, and this is not anything classic. This is a band called Persephone's Bees. This is their debut album, Notes from the Underworld, from 2006 actually. And the fun thing about this album, well, fun for me, I remember when I was a kid, I was playing FIFA 07, the video game, and one of the songs from this album called Musica della Film is was in featured in the game. And one day I was at work, and me and my colleague were listening to the radio, and that song went on, and I was like, "Oh God, I know that, from wherever or whatever." And turns out, I searched it on Shazam and found out the name of the band and everything, and listened to the album online. Loved it, and especially because I don't listen to a lot of 2000s music. It was a surprise to me, or I mean, it's really good pop rock. I'd call it pop rock, and it's this is an American band with the lead singer is a Russian girl actually called Angelina Moisov, and there are songs on Russian here and English as well. It's a really good album, and I'd love to have it on vinyl. I was searching on Discogs for it on vinyl, but it wasn't available at all. And found a cheap price from, I don't know, France, I think, with shipping included. It was a few bucks, so definitely worth buying. Next up, the new Megadeth on cassette. Believe it or not, I ordered it off of Discogs online. I still don't have the CD or the vinyl yet, but this is the first Megadeth out on cassette since I don't know, Rude Awakening, maybe, and it's still sealed. I still haven't listened to it, and I'm actually thinking of keeping it sealed. I usually do not keep records sealed, but I don't know about this one. But anyway, I've listened to it already on Spotify on 100 times, and I really like it. Wasn't really that impressed after the first two or three listens because I expected a little bit more, maybe because of the the first two or three singles that came out, but you know, after giving it more and more listens, the more I liked it. You know, great elements of old school metal with newer production. Next up, also a cassette. I also haven't opened this one yet. Anthrax, worship music, and I remember back in the day, this was the first new Anthrax album that I bought, and I was really excited buying it. So yeah, I haven't listened to it in a while. I have it on CD, don't have it on vinyl yet, but I hope to get it one day. And also, with this one, neither the CD or the vinyl haven't tried in Serbia yet, and it doesn't pay off for me to order it online like I did with this one because this one's cheaper with and the shipping and all of that doesn't pay off really to order the vinyl or the CD, so it's better to wait for it to come out here in a record shop than just save a few bucks. And the last cassette, Dire Straits, Love Over Gold. And as for vinyl, so a lot of these were like $1 to $5 bin saves or something like that. But anyway, you know, Dire Straits making movies. Yugoslavian pressing, first pressing was missing that one. Next one is a Yugoslavian band, Rock Machine, their debut album. I used to have this one, but when the time for selling records came, this was the one that had to go. But now it's back. It's early '80s hard rock, really good album. I'm glad to have it again in the in the collection. Next one we have the Animals. Now this is actually the live album called oh god in the beginning, yeah, and later in the it was released in 1970 originally, but in the 80s it was released in the UK and some other European countries, including Yugoslavia as well. And the Yugoslavian record label got the license to release it with Discover and Disney. And this is my first Animals album I bought. Didn't know any Animals on vinyl. Next up, Alton Lee, RX-5, also from the, I think this one was $5. Great condition, mint copy. I've listened to most of this, but still haven't listened to this one yet. Compilation album, uh, country 16 country number one hits. Again, an album that I used to own, but and actually I think this one wasn't sold. I don't know how it disappeared or whatever. Maybe I borrowed it to someone and they never gave it back. But oh well, it was $1. Great to have it on the turntable again. Now next up, Black Sabbath, Master of Reality. Yeah, I was missing on this one for a long, long time. Just I don't know if it was reissued or not. Probably yeah, but this is the Yugoslavian pressing from '87. This was the first time that it came out in Yugoslavia actually, and there were prices going 30 to $50. This one was 15 mint copy. Sounds fantastic. I'm glad I waited to find it, half price than what most people would charge for. Next up here we have Clapton Journeyman, his 80s stuff, one of my favorite Clapton albums. Now, this record, I saw it a million times in record fairs, flea markets, Discogs, whatever. But I wanted to buy it. I didn't want to buy it online. I wanted to see it for myself because in 99% when I came to it, it was beat up, the cover was destroyed. But finally, a decent copy of Cheap Thrills, one of my favorite uh, Big Brothers and the Holding Band albums with Janis Joplin, the last with Janis Joplin. I mean, my favorite album cover. One of my favorite album covers. I don't collect comics. One of the things I never started collecting. I do have like a Simpsons comic collection or something like that, but I always loved comic album covers, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted for this one to be as perfect as possible. The record and the cover itself, and I finally, after years and years of searching, found one that was finally decent enough. And last but not least, also from the dollar or $2 bin, Paul McCartney, the album Tug of War. Yeah, I'm not too crazy about the Beatles solo albums. I love Paul's Off the Ground though. That's and some John Lennon stuff like that. But I was never really into collecting the solo Beatles. But for $2, it's 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 worth a shot. I mean, to experience something new, maybe give it a chance, and that's what I love about music. Sometimes you think you will never own something by a band, and then you'll fall in love with it, and just changes your world completely. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye bye.